everybody, welcome to the video. I just wanted to say to please be respectful in the comments. I'm a little more nitpicky in this video than I have been in the other two videos. So, hopefully you guys will be respectful in the comments of my opinions, and please be respectful of other people's opinions. And you guys are fantastic. If you want to watch the other two videos I made, they should be in the description or in a link somewhere during the video. Thank you so much, I hope you enjoy.
Star Wars 7: The Force Awakens. My initial rating of this movie was a 6 out of 10. It was fine. That was like my genuine opinion on it. This is another one I watched with my brother, so I don't have as much context for what I was thinking while I was watching the movie. What I do remember was I was really tired that night, so that might have skewed my opinion. So, just, if you really like this movie, I'm sorry. I was tired when I watched it. My opinion is less solidified, because it was literally like after we had been at the convention and we were all pretty exhausted, but we wanted to watch this movie, and we did, and it was good. It was a good movie. I really liked the new characters, except for Kylo Ren. I didn't care for him as much. Not that he was a bad character. Well, he wasn't a poorly made character, but he wasn't like a good person, obviously. I will say, this movie felt a lot like 4 to me, and I think that was the point. I was told that was the point. That took away from the movie for me. I felt like I was watching it and I was just like, I was kind of bored. I was like, I've already seen this. I don't need to be watching this again. Like I said, I liked the new characters. I liked the fan service, and I thought it was really interesting. But I couldn't get behind it as much, to be honest. I love BB-8. I love BB-8. I do remember when this movie came out. I'm not that young. I do remember when this movie came out, and I remember all the hype around it. Or, not super well, but I remembered it was hyped up. And I remember all, like, the new characters being talked about. The, like, cinematography, like, shot up in this movie. I thought that was super cool. That was probably my favorite thing about this movie, was the cinematography. It was just, like, good and interesting, and I liked that aspect of it. My overall take on this movie is basically, it was fine, but I liked others better. But yeah, solid movie, good formula, I guess it can't go wrong, but good characters. I really like Finn, and I think he deserves more than he got in this trilogy. And yeah, I will say, and also Oscar Isaac, of course, I will say, this whole entire trilogy is just filled with plot holes. That was probably my biggest problem with it. Like I said, the original trilogy is probably my favorite. It probably goes original trilogy, sequel trilogy, or no, original trilogy, prequel trilogy, sequel trilogy for me, because I just didn't really care for the sequel trilogy as much, but that's just a personal thing. I don't know. That was kind of how I felt. Okay, time for episode 8, but first I did want to say my later rating on episode 7, probably still a 6 out of 10. Maybe like a 6.25? I think I said something very similar earlier. But yeah, a 6.25. I just kind of felt like it could have been better, and kind of disappointed. Episode 8, The Last Jedi. I like doing this with my hands, apparently. I gave this an initial rating, I think, a 8. I gave a 5 out of 10, actually. Apparently I didn't like it that much. I could not even begin to tell you how many plot holes were in this movie. They kept, like, they kept bringing up things that, like, didn't matter. Especially, like, they had an entire plot. This was, okay, the reason I didn't like this movie, one of the biggest reasons, there were several, they made this entire plot around these characters and, like, Finn, and I love Finn, and he deserved better for this reason, and I don't remember the other character's name. Rose? And yeah, it was nothing. There was no reason for them to do it. They go through this whole thing, and it was really just to get them out of the way, and it lengthened the movie runtime, because it does nothing. There's nothing for the plot. Like, if you're gonna have characters go on this pointless quest, it's fine, but, like, give it a point. Like, if it's pointless, it doesn't work. Like, why are you even putting it in the movie? Just take it out. There's no reason. There's like barely any character development either. It wasn't even like they went on this quest for one thing, but ended up having to do another thing because something went wrong. No, it went wrong and it meant nothing. They got betrayed like 3 times for nothing. Nothing happened. No progression was made in this story, and I don't understand why not. I'm so confused by this movie. I did not like it. Well, I liked Luke in this movie. I know a lot of people thought it was like, I don't know. I think a lot of people have opposing views on him like going into hiding. I think it was fair. The Jedi Order was pretty messed up, in my opinion. Jedi Order? Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Is like there's a lot of problems with it. Obviously he felt bad, like there's a lot of reasons, and I don't think he should have, but I think it was justified that he did, if that makes any sense at all. I think it's funny in this entire sequence Luke is just like, yeah, I didn't come back for a reason, I'm not coming back now, which is kind of funny. I didn't like Snoke. I didn't mention that last time. I mean, he doesn't last very long, but... Oh! The coolest thing about this movie, one of the coolest things, and one of the things I actually liked, besides Oscar Isaac, the Holdo maneuver? That was sick. It was cool. If you don't know what that is, it's when she like hyper space jumps into the ships. It's so cool. And I loved it. It was really clever. And I'm really happy they thought of it. I don't know. It was cool. I enjoyed it. That was probably one of the only places. Again, the fan service was kind of cool, and I liked the whole like Luke and Rey thing. That was kind of cool. Is this the movie Luke dies? I don't remember. I really did not like the Kylo Ren Rey thing. I still don't like Kylo Ren. I don't care. Like, okay, actually no. I didn't like their conversations. I did really like the cinematography in this part. Because like them switching back and forth just allowed them to do a lot of really cool things that I loved actually. So I will say that was really interesting and I did really like that part, but the rest of it not really. Okay, I will say I have a lot of thoughts on this movie apparently. The whole fight sequence after Snoke dies, I did really like that. That was a good sequence. It was really well done. That's my whole thought on it. I just liked it a lot. Again, I didn't care for this movie that much, but that was probably my favorite part. Just the way it was filmed, it was so, like, interesting to watch. And I hated what happened after it, and I hated everything around it, but I did like that scene, thinking about that stuff. So, if you guys have fun facts about Star Wars, please tell me. I'm curious, and I want to know, but no spoilers. Don't spoil it for me about anything else. But fun facts, I'm open. I'm open. But yeah, like... I don't know. I felt like a lot of the character development was like really glaringly obvious or like really not there at all. Like I said, that Rose and Finn plot point was useless. I like, if there was a point to it that someone saw, please tell me. I would love for there to be a point for it, but I was watching it and I couldn't find one. So yeah, that is episode 8. My rating for episode 8 is either like a 4.75 or still just a 5. I just didn't care for it that much, but it's a lot higher than 2. I did like it more than 2 because of some of those scenes. Finally, episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. I actually know the name of that one. My initial rating for this movie was a 6.5 out of 10. Mostly because I didn't want to put it higher than some of the other movies I've rated, so that'll probably change. The fact that they brought back Palpatine kind of made me mad. What I did like, it didn't make me mad. I was kind of like, okay, you really couldn't think of anything else. But I actually did understand, like, as the movie kept going, I was like, actually, no, this was kind of a cool plot point. With 9, my biggest thing was the switching between the Kylo Ren and Rey's perspectives. I mean, Kylo Ren's redemption arc came out of nowhere, but the switching thing was so cool, and I loved it. Like, just the way they used the scene, especially in that last scene with, like, the whole, like, lightsaber thing, that was so cool, and I went back and I rewatched it, like, 3 times because I thought it was cool. So I will say, and I'm gonna admit, it did kind of work. I did kind of like Kylo Ren better. Something that was weird about 9 is I feel like they just, like, took a bunch of things that came from 8 and just threw them out the window. which made it kind of weird. There was also a lot of unfinished plot points and plot holes and all that fun stuff in this movie. The Knights of Ren look cool. A lot cooler than Kylo Ren, not gonna lie. Except for his mask. His mask was cool. I actually did really like that. Also, I was really excited Lando was back. I just like Lando. I think he's a fun character. I will say Star Wars is really good at creating like these interesting fight places for fighting to take place. Like it's I think that's a really interesting part of movies is finding different terrains for people to fight on because like fights can only be so interesting and so different from each other. And Star Wars does a really good job at that. I mean, they fight in a lot of places with a lot of open areas. That's like the only repetitive part. Like they in this movie they fight on like the cliff at the sea and there was others like they were fighting in different places in ships and they were fighting in arenas and all that stuff and I just thought it was interesting. Kylo Ren saving Rey's life was an interesting plot point. I thought it was important though. I thought it was important. I think they could have done either way. Like that was something where I was like, okay, I don't mind that this happened, but they could have done something else and it would have also been fine. But I did like the impact it had, and I thought it was interesting. So that's basically my perspective on 9. Overall thoughts. Oh, my rating for 9 now is probably a 7. I didn't initially have it at a 7 because there are some other movies I rated as a 7 that I liked more. Because again, like this movie just had like a lot of plot points and plot holes that I just weren't there for me. But now that I've changed some of those ratings, this one can be a 7. Okay. Overall thoughts on the series. I enjoyed it. I did like this series a lot. If you guys want me to make videos on more of the stuff, I totally will. I'm probably gonna watch it anyways, so that would be kind of fun and exciting. But it's something that's like a kind of a toss up for me whether I should or not. Might just depend on how this video goes and how well I edit it. But yeah, I liked it. I thought a lot of the movies were really good and interesting. There was only a couple where I was like, this isn't that good. Or like it was just fine for me. But like overall, I had a lot of fun watching this series. I don't.
Hello everyone! Thank you so much for watching that video. If you want to watch my prequel trilogy or original trilogy videos, they should be right around me somewhere. If not, they should be up in the corner or in the description. So I don't know why I'm pointing down, but I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Please be respectful in the comments. Please be kind to me about my opinions. Please be kind to other people about their opinions, but I would love to hear your guys' opinions. Also, this is one of my first times doing like any kind of commentary for a video, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know in the comments if you want to see more, and please consider subscribing, liking the video, whatever else you're willing to do. You guys are all fantastic, and thank you so much for watching.